Many times in tech support, we get a call that the evaporator coil is frozen. It's a block of ice and it won't cool. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the reasons why this may happen. When you come across an evaporator coil that is frozen solid, the first thing you need to do is defrost the coil. We would like to do this naturally. If it's a heat pump, you can usually reverse the cycle and defrost the coil. But you want to do it naturally with the blower on. Never use sharp objects to get the ice off of the coil, as there is the very present danger of puncturing the refrigerant line and releasing all the refrigerant in the system. A heat gun is another tool that you could use to defrost the ice off of the coil. But before any further diagnostics can be done, the coil needs to be defrosted. Of course, anytime that you have freezing on a refrigerant system, the airflow is the first thing that you want to check. Airflow is critical, and we have spoken many times about airflow. And so you must check the filters and any kind of restriction that you may have in your airflow. And if your blower is producing the necessary CFM for the application. A clean coil is an absolute necessity. If the filter is dirty and it's allowed to remain in the system, you can be sure that the coil is going to pick up a lot of the dirt and dust that is escaping off the filter. A coil in this kind of condition is going to cause a lot of problems. We highly recommend that when you're cleaning the coil, that you spray down the coil and clean it with Dawn dish soap. Dawn dish soap has been recognized as restoring the adherence to the fins of the condensate water that runs down the coil. So we highly recommend that at least once or twice a year that you wash down your coils with Dawn dish soap to make sure that the condensate runs down the full length of the coil and that the coil is clean and is passing air across it as it should be. The other thing that you want to take a look at is the blower wheel. If your blower wheel looks like this, you definitely have reduced airflow. So take a look at the blower wheel, and if it is dirty, you will want to take it out of the system and totally wash it down and clean it so that the fins of the blower wheel are moving the amount of air that it should be. You will also want to verify that the blower is operating at the CFM it should be for the application. On older systems, you normally would have dip switches that you could set for CFM, making sure that your heating and cooling mode was in the correct position. Now, with the new NFC boards, you want to make sure that it is programmed correctly for the correct CFM for the particular application. We have done many classes and videos on airflow and ductwork design to keep static pressure as low as possible. A desirable total system static should be a 0.5 inches of water column or lower. You should also have a 0.4 inches of water column on your static return side. Always verify airflow before you start changing parts or adding or removing refrigerant. If there is a restriction in the refrigerant line, you will usually get a pressure drop at that point and frost will appear on the line. Shutting down the blower will also give you a frost pattern, which may lead to find where the restriction is. If there is ever a question about the refrigerant charge on a system, weigh in the correct amount and also make sure that you're charging the refrigerant under ideal charging conditions where the outside air temperature is above 60 degrees and the indoor air temperature is around 70 degrees. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button and subscribe to this channel to make sure you don't miss new videos each week. Thank you for supporting this channel.